Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Navarre, Ohio, where tonight the CVCA Royals are on the road to start the 2020 high school football season here in the state of Ohio, a night we didn't think would come, and frankly, a kickoff time that was in jeopardy just about an hour ago when a big thunderstorm rolled through. But the field is clear, the players are on the field, and Team 25 is set to take the field. It's a year unlike any other, as many of you and all of you know, with COVID-19 and the pandemic having its impact on every aspect of our lives. But a week ago on Tuesday, when Governor DeWine, the governor of the state of Ohio, the great state of Ohio here, Governor DeWine gave the go-ahead for fall sports and fall contact sports, and the season is on. It's a modified season of 6 games, all Pac-7 games. The Royals will play 6 regular season games, and then every team in the state of Ohio will qualify for the playoffs. A unique situation this year, but every team that is willing and eligible to play will get a chance to have a playoff game. Beyond that, if a team is eliminated from the playoffs, they may continue on for 3 additional regular season games if they can schedule them. But right now, it's the chance to start a new season with 6 straight games in the Pac-7. The Royals are coached by Coach Dan Larlam, and they're coming off an 8-4 season a year ago where they advanced to the second round of the Ohio State Tournament and notched their first ever playoff victory over Salem. This year, though, it's time to write a new story, and the Royals' theme is Why Not Us? Why not us? The Royals are set to take the field tonight against Fairless, the Falcons, behind a 3-year starter at quarterback, Michael Bevington. And the offensive line is anchored by a pair of 3-year starters, a couple of behemoths at tackle, Jack Bova on the right side and J.T. Nichols on the left side. There are 3 new starters on that line, though, to fill some gaps left by some folks that left last year and graduations. Bova and Nichols will be joined on that line by Joey Johnson, a junior at center, sophomores Tony Collins and David Glover at guard. Collins, a big man himself at 6'0", 275, will line up on the right side next to Bova, who has actually received accolades in years past. 3rd team All-State last year in Division 4. Bova checks in at 6'4", 280, so there's some beef on the right side of that line for new starting running back Kyle Snyder. Snyder will step up and be the featured back of this team, but he's no stranger. He came in and made an impact last year as a freshman on both sides of the ball. And Snyder is set to see many carries tonight and this upcoming season. The sophomore should see plenty of action. At receiver, the Royals will have to step up and replace several graduation departures as well. Look for Brennan Darr to be a new threat at receiver. On defense, junior Brant Simmons was named a captain this year, and he's listed as linebacker, but you might see him at cornerback tonight, and he's the brains of that defense for the Royals and Coach Larlam. The Royals should be tough against the run tonight against the Falcons. The key question is, can the secondary make the stops that are necessary against Fairless? This season is unique with the COVID-19 coronavirus situations, and the OHSAA has made some modifications to the rules that you might notice over the live stream tonight. Among them, the box for team members will be lengthened along the sidelines. Normally it's from the 30-yard line to the 30-yard line, but this year, to allow more opportunity for social distancing on the sideline, players and coaches can line up from the 10-yard line to the other 10-yard line. So there's 80 yards on the sidelines that are eligible for the players to allow themselves to distance. Cloth face coverings are allowed during the games, and they are mandatory while on the sideline for coaches and players. Timeouts will be lengthened to 2 minutes. Each player will get water from their own water bottles. There will be no sharing. And only necessary personnel will be at the center of the field for the coin toss, which has already happened tonight. And they socially distance each team lined up at either side of the big F that adorns the center of the field here at Fairless. There will be shorter half times and no handshakes tonight, although there should be sportsmanship, as always, on the field. for Fairless tonight. They've got plenty of experience back. Fairless was pillaged by injuries and the injury bug last year, but they got a lot of folks in, and that means they've got 8 to 9 starters back on both sides of the ball. The Falcons are led by quarterback senior Ethan Brindley, who begins his second full year as the Falcons' signal caller. He also saw time late in his sophomore year when he filled in for the starting quarterback that year who was out due to injury late in the season. So Brindley is no stranger to the backfield, and he'll be the leader on offense for Fairless tonight. At running back, junior Hunter Campbell is set to take over the reins at the running back position for the Falcons. Campbell rushed last year for 859 yards, and here come the Royals. As we approach game time, the Royals have entered the stadium, and we are just 4 minutes away from the start of the 2020 season. Back to that overview on Fairless. So Campbell was the running back. He ran for 859 yards on 130 carries last year, and he had some games where he just broke out. Against conference rival Loudonville, Campbell ran for 271 yards, scored a couple of touchdowns, and in the season-ending game against Fairless's arch-rival Tuslaw, he had 2 touchdowns and gathered another 132 yards on the ground. So it'll be incumbent upon the Royals to try and target Hunter Campbell. He'll be wearing number 10 tonight for the Falcons. Sophomore Tom Fox helps anchor a very experienced line that includes 3-year starters Hayden Suit, Tyler Stubbs, and Justin Cornish. Brindley will look for receivers Connor Durant and Reese Lanier. On the defense, look for Colton Colucci and Brody Pumineo as standouts. This is year 3 of the A.J. Sarbaugh era at Fairless. He brings in a 7-13 record. They were 4-6 last year, 1 game improvement over his initial year on the sidelines for the Falcons. But they ended the season with a rivalry victory against Tuslaw, holding Tuslaw down at the 1-yard line as time expired, and they took home the coveted Blue Cup, which is awarded every year to the winner of the Fairless Tuslaw game. Sarbaugh's 29 years old. He's a young head coach, but in his 3rd season, but he's no stranger to football. He's a second-generation coach here at Fairless. His father, Jeff Sarbaugh, was a head coach in 1995 for 3 years, the 1997 season. CVCA and Fairless have met 19 times on the gridiron, and this will be the 20th meeting between the two schools. The Royals hold a 14-5 edge in the all-time series, and they have won 2 games in a row, including last year's event here at Fairless by a score of 31-7. We're going to do our best to bring the coverage to you tonight. My name is Tim Nichols. We want to thank CVCA parents for helping make this live cast possible. It's been an effort to pull things together this week. We hope that the broadcast holds together as well. The rain has moved away for the moment, and we're a minute and a half away from kickoff. You can see in the lower right-hand corner the new Twitter logo for the CVCA Livestream at CVCA Livestream. And if you want to tweet to that account on Twitter tonight at CVCA Livestream, we'll do our best to try and monitor what's there, ask the questions you might have, ask us what's going on, and we'll try and interact with you. But now, here come the home Fairless Falcons with a couple of American flags as they come out of their own end zone to center of the field. If you've been following high school football and the news in Ohio this year, you know that the spectators are allowed, but they are allowed only to immediate parents and family members with great limitations on the number of spectators. And we'll take a break for the national anthem. A fine rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. And we're just about ready. It's just about game time. The clock is set for 12 minutes, and the Royals will get the ball first. We're just about ready to get underway. Back deep for the Royals to receive the opening kickoff of the season is number 15, Eli Dicandrew, a junior, and number 21, David Lewis, a senior. Fairless will kick off. Their kicker appears to be number 6, Ethan Brindley, the aforementioned Brindley, who also doubles as the quarterback. The tee will be placed down at the 40-yard line of Fairless. Dicandrew and Lewis wait at the CVCA 10. There's the whistle. Brindley lines up, and the kick is off. We're underway. It's going to be Dicandrew with it. He's across the 30-yard line and taken down. The Royals will start the 2020 season at approximately the 32-yard line. It's first down and 10. Michael Bevington and Kyle Snyder in that backfield, as we talked about. Running onto the field is Brant Simmons. Simmons looks like he's going to line up in a slot. Bevington by himself in the backfield. Looking to pass. He's got a man open, and it looks to be Simmons complete across midfield to the 49-yard line for another first down for the Royals. First down and 10. A pickup of 19 yards on that play, and the Royals are across midfield for the first time this season. Bevington in the backfield again. Snyder to his right. The snap and the handoff is to Snyder. He gets back to the initial line of scrimmage where it'll be second down. No gain on the play. The Royals will go quickly. Bevington calling out the signals. This time Snyder lines up to his left. Snyder takes the handoff, and he's across the 45-yard line. Tries to break a couple tackles, but he's taken down by a host of Fairless Falcons. A pickup of 4 yards. A first down for the Royals. The Royals typically line up quickly, but as you see right now, Bevington looks to the sideline to see if the coaching staff decides to change up the call. He takes a snap, rolling to his right, looking again, throws. That is complete, but short of the first down marker. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up fourth down. We'll call it fourth down and 5, and the Royals are no stranger to going for it. But not this time. They're in punt formation. Bryce Keitlinger into punt for the Royals. It's a clean snap, and the kick is away. And that kick is angled out of bounds. Waiting for the official spot. Looks like it'll be about the 20-yard line for the Falcons. They set the line of scrimmage at the 18-yard line, and that's where the Falcons will take over for their first possession of the season. So Brindley, the quarterback, will get his first chance. He wears number 6. They run a man in motion to the far side of the field. Brindley takes a snap, and it's a pitch to Hunter Campbell. Campbell goes right, and he's got a good gain. He'll be close to a first down. It looks like it may be a pickup of 9 yards to bring up second down and 1 yard to go. Second down and 1. 27-yard line of the Falcons. Looks like they'll hand to Campbell again. He's stacked up, and a host of Royals are there to greet him. He may have lost a yard. It's going to bring up third down. Third down and 2. Just underway here from Fred Brideweser Stadium, rolling on 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. The Falcons hand off again, and it looks like a second effort may have resulted in a first down for Hunter Campbell. It is a first down, and they move the sticks. They set the line of scrimmage at the 31-yard line. The Falcons break the huddle. Campbell lines up to the left of Ethan Brindley. They've yet to throw it, but they will this time. Brindley looks back, throws. It's complete. A screen. The ball's on the ground, and the Royals have recovered it. It's the first turnover of the season. CVCA will pick up the ball and the possession on the 45-yard line. So a big break for the Royals. This drive will matriculate from the 45-yard line of Fairless. And Bevington back in the shotgun formation. We've got a flag down on the play. And it's a motion penalty on the Royals. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. It'll be first down and 15 yards as they move the ball back to midfield. So the Royals reset. Bevington throws. He's got a man out there, and it's a near catch by number 16. That's Brennan Darr, the aforementioned Darr. We talked about him in the pregame show. That ball was there, but Darr tried to rein it in with one hand. It fell incomplete. Connor Durant was on the coverage on that play. So it'll be second down, 15 yards to go. Bevington scrambles in the backfield, and there's a big rush, and he's going to be pulled down for a sack. Loss of 5. And the Royals have third and very long. Third down and 20 yards to go from their own 45 to convert. They'll need to get all the way down to the Fairless 35-yard line. Two wide receiver split. Now one in motion. The ball's on the ground. Bevington running for his life, and he's plowed under. It's a loss of another 10 yards all the way back to the Fairless 35-yard line, and that series goes for naught. Keitlinger will come in to kick it away. Fairless puts two men back to receive the punt. Keitlinger has it. The kick is away. It's a line drive kick, and it's over everybody. It's a huge kick, and it rolls into the end zone. 62 yards on the punt. A net of 42 as they'll bring it back out to the 20-yard line, where Fairless will set up for first down and 10. Bryce Keitlinger, a 4-year starter at the kicking position, handling most of the punting and the PAT and field goal duties for CVCA. And he showed his value there, digging the Royals out of a big hole and pushing Fairless all the way back to the 20-yard line. 7:07 on the clock here in the first quarter when Fairless will start this next drive. Empty backfield this time. And the Fairless Falcons will run it a sweep to the right side. They'll pick up positive yardage. Hunter Campbell again on the carry. And he's got enough for a first down, a pickup of 11. So they'll move the ball out to the 31-yard line. So in the first two drives, Hunter Campbell has been everything as advertised. And they're sure to lean on him for the remainder of the night. Brindley calls out the signals. This time he fakes the handoff. Its pass is complete. Big gain on this one. The reception is made by number 11, Reese Lanier. Lanier received that one as the Royals bid on the play action. It's a pickup of 19 yards, and Fairless has moved the ball out to the CVCA, rather out to midfield. The line of scrimmage will be the 50-yard line. First down and 10. Again, it's a sweep right. This time the carry is number 24. Brody Pomnio on the carry. And the Falcons are attacking that right side. Pomnio was tackled by Kyle Snyder. It's a pickup of 9 yards. It's going to bring up second down and 1. Check that. The referees have looked and they've awarded a first down. Spotted right there at the 40 of CVCA. Brindley will hand off. Hunter Campbell stacked yards, maybe 2, so it'll be second down and 8. We're early on in the first quarter, about halfway through as the clock runs, 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Started this drive at their 20-yard line, and they now have second and 8 from the CVCA 38. Ethan Brindley drops back to pass. He's looking, and that is overthrown, but a flag from way down in the secondary. Uncatchable to the naked eye, not even close. We wait on the referees to come together. They convene. Pass interference on the Royals. They'll march that one off. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's a big one. That'll bring up a new set of... The ball will go all the way down to the 23-yard line. The Falcons approaching the red zone for the first time. Clock, which in Ohio is 25 seconds after a stoppage. Brindley waits. He's got Campbell lined up right behind him. It's a pass on the play action to the end zone. He's got a man open, and it's a touchdown for Fairless. 23 yards. Brody Pomnio on the reception, and the Falcons are on the board first. It's 6-0. Ethan Brindley went way over the top on that one and hit Brody Pomnio for the 23-yard touchdown reception. And he's right back in to attempt the extra point. They'll spot the ball down in the 10, so it's a 20-yard extra point try. The snap is down and the kick is up. It splits the uprights. And with 4 minutes and 58 seconds to go in the first quarter from Fairless, the Falcons are on the board first. It's Fairless 7 and CVCA nothing. So the game and the players will reset. The Royals will head back out to return the kickoff, and they'll play from behind. But they're undoubtedly happy to be playing nonetheless from any position, as it was just over, or just 10 days ago, where the season was in doubt. Right now, Fairless has looked good in their first two drives. They were stopped by a fumble on their initial drive, but that last drive went 80 yards, capped off by the 23-yard touchdown pass to Pomnio to put the Falcons on top. Dykandrew and Lewis will again be deep for the Royals. And Brindley will do the honors to kick it off. The 6'2", 195 senior. It's a high kick, but we've got to stop, a flag down. And quickly it's offsides on Fairless. They were a little too anxious, was the coverage team, to get down there on the kickoff. So they'll march off 5 yards against the Falcons, and they'll re-kick it. Opening night of the 2020 high school football season in the state of Ohio. Just under 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Fairless ready to kick off. Brindley puts his boot into it. This one is a bouncing kick. It's going to be taken all the way back by Lewis. Hills across the 30-yard line, 40. He's hit there. and gets all the way out to the 45-yard line. A nice return, and the Royals will have good field position. First down and 10. The Royals' offense has sputtered a little bit on the first couple of drives. We'll see if they can put things together now. Last week, after the governor allowed for contact activity to take place, the Royals scheduled a quick scrimmage against Villa Angela St. Joseph, and they looked pretty well oiled last week in the scrimmage, scoring 4 times in just one half of play. But so far, they're a little bit challenged. On this play, Bevington takes the snap. He's around the right side and across the 50-yard line down to about the 45 of Fairless. It's enough for a first down, a pickup of about 12, and the Royals will move the sticks. The Royals set up. They've got 2 wide receivers split to the left, a man in motion to that side as well. Bevington receives a snap. It's a handoff. This one's taken by number 7, Owen Edwards. And Edwards is across the first down marker. Edwards is a 5'10", 180-pound junior. He gets his first carry. Snyder back into the game. He's all the way down to the 30-yard line, so the Royals pick up back-to-back first downs, running that right side. Bevington with the snap again. This one's to Snyder. Snyder's across the line of scrimmage. He's going to pick up another 5 or 6 yards. It'll be second down, but the Royals have it moving. There is a flag, however. And we wait for the call. The Royals are marching backwards. So it looks like it's going to go against the CVCA offensive team. We did not see the call, but we'll assume that was a hold. Here it comes, holding on the offense. And so they will march it all the way back to the 40-yard line. It's going to be first down and 20. So this time the Royals will line up 2 wide to the left. They've got a tight end and a single receiver. Bevington takes the snap. He's going to keep it. He's up the middle. Gets hit first and thrown down. Looks like he'll pick up 5. Michael Bevington is a key component of the offense, and that run-pass option has been a key component of the Dan Larlam era. Bevington is described not just as a quarterback, he's a football player and a fierce competitor. This time he takes a snap, a big rush. They set up a screen. The pass is complete to number 16, Brennan Darr. Fairless reacted quickly to it, though. A pickup of a couple yards, but it's going to be third down and long. It looks like 12 yards to go as they set up at the 32-yard line. Trips wide to the left, single receiver wide right. Snyder in the backfield, offset to the right side. Bevington assesses the defense. Now he takes the snap, looking left, now rolls right. Got a big rush, now he'll roll back to his left. Looking, throws, and it's complete. He finds a man. A man is open, and he's going deep for the end zone. It's a touchdown for the Royals. David Lewis is into the end zone for CVCA, and the Royals are on the board. $32 yards on the touchdown pass. Put the points on the board. It's 7-6. So Keitlinger is in to try and tie the score. Joey Lehner is the holder. Lehner's a freshman. He's got the snap. It's down. The kick is up, and it's blocked. So the PAT attempt by the Royals is blocked, and that'll make the score Fairless 7, CVCA 6 with 2:25 to go in the first quarter. It looked like a good snap. But Fairless penetrated the line of scrimmage, and one of the Falcons' defenders got a hand on that ball. So the Royals are within a point. Well, we have a break in the action. A reminder, feel free to tweet us at CVCA Livestream, and we'll see what you have to say, how you like the broadcast. We're doing our best to bring you the best coverage possible. And we thank you for watching tonight. So the Royals head out there. It'll be their first attempt to kick off this season. And they will kick off from the left hash mark from their own 40-yard line. Back deep for Fairless, it looks like number 18, Luke Yoder. Keitlinger squibs it, and an up man will take it. Fairless has a pretty decent return. Evan Carter was the man who returned that kick, and he returned it out to about the 40-yard line. We'll call it the line of scrimmage at the 37 of the Falcons, where they'll take over first down and 10. Falcons 7, Royals 6. 2 minutes, 19 seconds to go, first quarter. And Fairless breaks the huddle as they'll start this drive. They went 80 yards on their last drive. Flag down on the play. A pre-snap penalty. Waiting for the signal. Fairless is marking back, and it's a false start on Fairless. They'll march off 5 yards against the Falcons. Back to the 32-yard line. It'll be first down and 15 yards to go. Ethan Brindley, the senior. At quarterback, it's a pitch right. Campbell has it. He's got a good gain going. And he's into the open field. He's going to go. Campbell's across the 30, 20, 10, and touchdown Fairless. 68 yards to pay dirt. The Falcons are on the scoreboard. Hunter Campbell is into the end zone. One play. We said it before, Hunter Campbell was advertised as the man in the backfield, and he's been all that in the first quarter. The Royals are going to have to find a way to stop him. So Ethan Brindley trots back onto the field. And he'll set the tee down on the 10. Lining things up. Here's the snap. The kick is up, and it's good. With 2 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the first quarter, that makes the score Fairless 14 and CVCA 6. So Hunter Campbell hit that right side and was into the open field, and all he saw was green in front of him. 14-6. The Royals will get it back. And we'll see what Michael Bevington, Kyle Snyder, and the CVCA Royals can do as they seek to head downfield, put more points up on the board. Lewis and Dicandro again back deep for the Royals. And the Falcons retake the field. It will be their third kickoff attempt of the first quarter. Fairless looking nothing like the 4-6 team that we saw on this field a year ago, when CVCA defeated the Falcons 31-7. It's early yet, though. And here's the kickoff. It's an onside kick. The ball's down, and it looks like Fairless may have just come up with it. They did. Catching the Royals by surprise. And Fairless will retain possession, up 14-6. The line of scrimmage is going to be the CVCA 45-yard line, and the defense heads back out, and they're going to have to make a stop. Offense is the name of the game in the Principal's Athletic Conference, and you want to get as many possessions as you can. Fairless obviously saw something in the CVCA kick coverage lineup, and they squibbed that ball to the right-hand side, and we're on top of it in a flash. So Brindley comes back out with Hunter to his Campbell to his left-hand side. But before they get the play off, the Falcons call a timeout. So there's a timeout on the field. 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go here in the first half. This is not the first Pac-7 game of the year. That actually happened last night down the road in Loudonville. Triway and Loudonville got together, and they had their own share of challenges with weather, a couple of lightning delays. Triway took a 21-6 lead into the fourth quarter, but Loudonville came all the way back and tied it up in the last minute. The game went to overtime. Triway put 7 up in the first overtime stanza, and the game ended on an interception, with Triway taking their first victory of the season against Loudonville on the road. Game ended around 11:30 last night at Loudonville High School. But tonight we're in Navarre, Ohio, at Fairless High School, where A.J. Sarbaugh's Fairless Falcons, an experienced team, 17 starters back from a year ago, have come out quickly on CVCA. They lead at 14-6. And they're going to march back 5 yards as number 50, Justin Cornish, was a little too eager that time and jumped out for a pre-snap penalty. False start. That'll make it first down and 15. One of the things you'll notice on the broadcast tonight is the umpire has a bean bag, and he throws the bag down where the line of scrimmage is, and the center for each team is spotting the ball. That's a new rule in Ohio to limit the amount of times that the umpire has to touch the ball. But this time, they're going to move back 5 more yards as Fairless jumps offside once again. So they'll march it off 5 yards back to the 45. It'll be first down and 20. Brindley will look to pass this time. He drops the ball on the ground, still running. He's pressured. Bova's after him. Here comes the rest of the CVCA defense, but Brindley breaks it. He makes something out of nothing, and he's all the way back to midfield. That was a disaster waiting to happen, but Ethan Brindley managed to pick up 7 yards. It's going to bring up second down and 13 yards to go. An interesting formation in this time. They've got a couple of men close to the line of scrimmage. It's a pitch to Campbell. Flag down. This one's going to come back. Campbell is across the original line of scrimmage, down to about the 43-yard line of CVCA. But there's going to be an illegal block called on the Falcons, and they're going to march this one back again. The clock stopped at 1 minute 5 seconds to go in the first quarter. Looks like they'll spot that flag at the 48-yard line of CVCA and march 10 yards back from there down to the 42-yard line of Fairless. It'll be second down again, and $18 yards to go. Check that. It's going to be second and 23. The Falcons have to get all the way down to the 35-yard line for a first. They'll line this one up at their own 42. Brindley's going to pass in this one. He looks right side, and it's tipped and knocked out of bounds. It looked like Lewis was in coverage for the Royals, and Fairless is lucky that he didn't come down with it because he would have been running the other way. Incomplete pass brings up third down and really long, third and 23. Just under a minute. The clock reads 59 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Score is Fairless 14, CVCA 6. The Falcons will set triple receivers wide to the left side, the near side looking at it from our perspective. Brindley drops back. He's looking left. He's got a man complete, but well short of the first down. That's number 5, Connor Durant. On the catch, Bryce Keitlinger out there on coverage and takes down the tackle. It's 4th and 17 actually. And the Falcons will be forced to punt. A nice job there by the CVCA defense. Michael Bevington back to receive the punt for CVCA. That punt is off. Bevington has it. He's going to go left side and then reverse his field and taken down at the 23-yard line. That's where the Royals will set up first down and 10. The Royals will start this possession first and 10 from their own 23-yard line. And there's time for one more play in the first quarter with 4 seconds left showing on the clock. Bevington empty backfield. He's got trips wide left. 2 receivers split out to the right. Bevington looking to his left now. He scrambles, runs left. He's going to keep it. He's across the 25 and knocked out of bounds about the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 3, maybe 4. And that's going to do it for the first quarter. We're in 12 minutes past. The first quarter is complete. The score, CVCA 14 and... Rather, it's Fairless 14, my bad. CVCA 6, and as the quarter ends, the rain starts again. While we've got a break in the action, we'd like to thank CVCA's 2020 Power Meal sponsors. Panini's Bar and Grill in Stowe, Ohio. TGI Fridays, also in Stowe. Texas Roadhouse in Stowe. Rockney's in Hudson, Ohio. Casa D'Angelo in Macedonia. And McDonald's in Stowe, CVCA's 2020 football Power Meal sponsors. We are thankful to them for all that they do to keep the Royals fed on the night before game night. And I'll tell you what, it has opened up the skies again, coming down quite heavily, and ball control protection is going to be very key as we head into this second quarter. So the Royals set up second down and 7. Huge downpour. Bevington under center. It's a handoff. Kyle Snyder has it. He's across the 35-yard line. Looks like he may have enough for a first down, and he does. First down and 10. Bevington under center again as the rain. Snyder's across the left-hand side. He's got a big hole. He's across the 45 to the 47-yard line. It's going to be close enough for another first down, perhaps. If not, it'll be second down and very short. Check that. It looks like a block in the back or a hold is going to be called on CVCA. So that run will go for naught. They march it all the way back. It's going to be first down at about 20. This run goes off the right side. Not much there. Torrential rain at the start of the second quarter. Pick up of 5 yards in that play. It's going to be second down and 15 yards to go. Michael Bevington operating under center. Handoff. Across the middle. It's Kyle Snyder again. He picks up 4, maybe 5. It'll bring up third down and 10. Bevington rolls to his left, looks, throws, and this one is going to be intercepted. Actually, it's incomplete, dropped by number 18. The pass falls incomplete. It'll be fourth down for the Royals. And Keitlinger is in to punt. The kick is away. It's a line drive. It's going to drop and bounce. No return, and it will roll dead on the 22-yard line. That's where Fairless will set up first down and 10 yards to go. Fairless 14, CVCA 6. Early second quarter with the rain coming down. Ethan Brindley, the quarterback. Hunter Campbell lines up behind him. Campbell's going to get that ball, and he's going to go nowhere. A massive push by the CVCA defensive line. Campbell will lose a yard. It'll be second down and 11. And we're going to ask your forgiveness on the down and distance at the moment. With the rain coming down, we're making sure we keep everything as dry as possible. So we're going to be out without the down and distance, so we'll call it out for you. Brindley is going to keep this one. And he goes off the right-hand side. But not too much on that one. He picks up 2 yards. It's going to be third down and 9. Clock is running. 9 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the second quarter. The Fairless Falcons leading this one 14-6. They've got a third down and 9 from their own 22-yard line. Brindley has Campbell split left. He's got 2 receivers wide to the right. Now one goes in motion. It's a pitch out to Campbell. This is the play that scored the touchdown, but not this time. Campbell gains a few yards, but he's stacked up at the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. It'll bring up fourth down and 5. So the Royals defense stiffened up that time. And Brindley is back to kick. Dicandrew and David Lewis and Bevington back to receive for CVCA. The ball is snapped. It rolls back to Brindley, but he gets it away. And the safe call is called. That ball bounces and is going to be touched down by Fairless at the CVCA 41-yard line. The Royals will have it first down and 10. Need something to dry to wipe it off. So the Royals set up first down and 10 from the 43-yard line. That's the line of scrimmage. Bevington will again go under center. He keeps it, and he's crushed under. It's a loss of 2 yards. The Royals will have second down. 12 yards to go. There's a whistle on the field. A.J. Sarbaugh is also on the field on the far side. Not quite sure why. It looks like they may move the ball to the right hash mark, or the hash mark nearest to the home side of the field. Bevington will hand off to Snyder, and Snyder's hit right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. It's 3rd down and 12. Rain coming down here in Navarre. Royals have the ball. 6:40 to go in the half, trailing 14-6. They have 3rd down and 13 to go. This time Bevington will operate out of the shotgun. It's a sweep. Simmons on the carry. And Simmons is across midfield to the 49-yard line. Not quite to midfield. He picks up 8, but not enough for the first down. We'll see what Coach Dan Larlam wants to do. 4th down, we're going to call it 4 yards to go from the 49-yard line, and that's it. Lightning has just flashed, and we've got another lightning delay. Exactly 6 minutes to go in the second quarter, and the field will be cleared. 8:55 p.m. when the flash of lightning came. Another thunderstorm is in the area, so that's going to mean at least 30 minutes. So if you set your clocks, we're going to be paused till at least 9:25 in this one. The score is Fairless 14, CVCA 6. With 6 minutes to go in the second quarter here tonight. Fairless scored first on a 23-yard touchdown pass from Brindley to Pumneo. They put up another score after CVCA came in within 7-6. The Royals marched down the field and had their own touchdown pass. David Lewis hauled in that one. And on the very next play, after a point after touchdown was blocked, Hunter Campbell sprinted around right side and went 68 yards untouched into the end zone. And that is where we are right now, halfway through the second quarter, 14-6. We're going to take a pause in the action. Again, follow us on @CVCA Livestream on Twitter. We'll also try and update the Facebook page for CVCA Athletics under the information regarding this broadcast about when we'll be back. But we are going to have to take a pause and clear as the stands are being cleared. So again, follow @CVCA Livestream, and we'll keep you as up to date as possible about when this game resumes. It looks like this storm will pass through. We were expecting a second line of storms to come through, but we do expect that we will get this game in. The Royals will head up the hill at Fairless, and they will stay in the buses. That is the way things go in 2020 during weather delays. Fairless has retreated likely into their locker room or into a school classroom where they can safely socially distance during the delay. So again, to the best of our ability, we'll keep you up to date, but we're going to pause now. You'll hear silence for some time. We will do our best to keep the stream going. Follow us at CVCA Livestream for the latest updates for when we will resume the coverage. For now, we'll take a break. This is Tim Nichols with the score, Falcons 14 and Royals 6. cover this up.
Yeah. You need new bags.
Yep. Let's make sure Zach is covered up better than he was too before.
Get those cords too. Well, I think it's
30 minutes. No, they would resume tomorrow. But this is going to pass through. Yeah. This will pass through. Yep. Yep. Probably. But I think this is going to pass. I'm good. Oh. That'll be fun. Oh, thank you. Was it? About the internet connection. Yeah, no kidding. Kristen, do we have another towel that's dry or no? Yeah. I will take it. Yeah, I will actually. Just toss it. Actually, don't toss it. Thank you. Yep, I'll make sure he's all right. Well, hello again, everybody. It's 9:45, and if you're still tuning in, we're still here. You're looking through the plastic covering up our camera. It's all quiet in Navarre right now. As a reminder, we're paused in the middle of the second quarter at 14-6 with Fairless on top due to a lightning delay. The rain, for the moment, has passed, and it's quiet. The Royals still up in their buses, which is required during a lightning delay. And Fairless, we assume they are in their school in a classroom or perhaps in their locker room, but more likely a classroom due to the Ohio High School Athletic Association requirements. Some of the coaches are headed back here this way to the press box, but so far no word, no sign of any referees or anyone else for that matter making their way back down to the field. So we are still quite a ways away from a restart of activities here at Fred Brideweser Stadium. Elsewhere in other pack action tonight, there are lightning delays all over. And late in the first quarter, Northwest leads Orville 7-0. There's 22 seconds upon last report left in the first quarter of that game. And in the second quarter, non-conference game, Southeast leads Tuslaw 7-6. That game also delayed with 4 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the second quarter. We had not mentioned it yet, but Manchester, perennial favorite here in the Pac-7, is idle. Manchester from Summit County, as is CVCA, adhering to the Summit County Board of Health recommendations for a pause in athletics activities. And so the Manchester team will not get underway for a couple of more weeks yet, and so they are idle tonight. Again, last night, down the road in Loudonville fought hard against Triway, pulling even with less than a minute to go at 21-21 before Triway, who was held scoreless in the second half, scored in their first overtime possession, took a 28-21 lead, and then ended the game on a 3rd down and 9 interception. Loudonville ran a wheel route that went awry, and Triway came away with a win. We're starting to see some spectators on the home sideline make their way back into the stadium. But again, so far there is not one official or player or anyone else that has made their way back onto the field. Like you, we're reliant on radar. And as we look at the Weather Channel radar on our phones, we definitely are in a area where there is no rain. There's heavy storms to our south. So if you're familiar with Ohio weather in this part of the country, New Philadelphia is to our south, and there's a huge line of storms that are that direction. We believe that may have been part of the storm system, and in fact, it looks like it was part of the storm system that blew through here. And the storms are gradually moving to the east. Looking behind this and into the future forecast, future radar forecast, it does look like things should clear out for the next several hours before more storms head in here during the overnight hours. So again, recapping, currently it's 9:49 Eastern Daylight Time. We are paused at Fairless High School. Fairless has a 14-6 lead. Fairless got on the board first with a 23-yard touchdown pass. Ethan Brindley hit Pumneo over his right side, and Pumneo beat the defensive secondary for the Royals to put Fairless up 7-0 after the point after touchdown, which was good. The Royals came back after on their third offensive possession and came back, drove down the field, and on a 3rd down play from about 32 yards out, Michael Bevington rolled right, then rolled left, then found David Lewis open, and Lewis took in the pass and had nothing but green in front of him, and he went into the end zone for the first Royals touchdown of the year. However, the point after touchdown was blocked, and it was 7-6. Fairless on top. That didn't last long, though. Fairless got the ensuing kickoff, and on their first play, it was a 68-yard touchdown run, untouched into the end zone, that got us to the score that we are right now, 14-6. That touchdown was scored by junior running back Hunter Campbell. We mentioned during the pregame that Campbell had 2 outstanding games in the second half of last season. One against Loudonville, where he ran for 271 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then he scored 3 touchdowns and had 132 yards against Tuslaw in the season-ending game. Again, we are paused with 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Fairless on top, 14-6. Looking across the field, we do see a return of the Fairless cheerleaders. They're making their way in front of the home stands on the track. But that's about it for the moment. So we're going to take another break now. And current time is 9:52. We will come back in about 13 minutes at 10:05 p.m. Eastern Time. The stream will continue. You're still looking through a foggy bag as we keep things dry. But we'll update the screen and join us again in about 13 minutes for the next update. For now, this is Tim Nichols for CVCA Royals Football on the live stream, brought to you out of the generosity of anonymous CVCA parents who are making this possible this evening. Stick around. Head on over, refill that beverage, make another bowl of popcorn. We'll be back with you in about 13 minutes. Well, hello again, everybody. It's Tim Nichols with the latest update, and the update is good news. The countdown clock is running. It currently sits at 10 minutes and 15 seconds, which means at approximately 10:15 p.m., the players should return to the field and have a brief warm-up period. And shortly thereafter, this game will resume. And having looked at the radar, it looks like we are out of the woods from a weather perspective. The weather looks good from now until middle of the overnight, at which time we hopefully will not still be here, and we'll be nestled snugly in our beds celebrating a CVCA Royals comeback victory. The Royals, as we mentioned before, had to retreat to their buses. They are not allowed by Ohio High School Athletic Association rules during the COVID-19 pandemic to assemble in the locker room here at Fairless High School. So it's been an interesting start to the season, with the Royals coming out a little bit sloppy and trailing in this one 14-6. So perhaps the break in the action has given Coach Dan Larlam and his assistant coaches an opportunity to instruct and teach and game plan to try and stop Hunter Campbell, who has proved to be everything we expected him to be so far in the first 18 minutes of this contest, as they've made dividends, especially when going around the right side of their offensive line. So we're looking to play football here this evening, and we will come back to you in about another 8 minutes at 10:15 with the next update. And welcome back to Navarre, Ohio at Fairless High School. And as we speak, the Fairless Falcons have re-entered the field. We're going to play more football tonight. Behind them in the distance, in the darkness, is the CVCA Royals making their way down the hill. And about to enter the stadium themselves. So far, the delay has been 1 hour and 1 minute. And it will undoubtedly be a little longer as the warm-up is required before the resumption of play. But as mentioned before, it looks like we are just about out of the woods as the Royals re-enter the field. The score here from Fairless is the Falcons 14, the Royals 6. But there's a long way to go. Both teams now back out on the field. And as soon as we have a resumption of a game time, we'll let you know that, and we'll put that up on the screen as well. In the meantime, yours truly is going to take a quick break and try and squeeze in a dinner of Costco nuts, cheese, and some dried fruit. And that's what we call dinner tonight. So we'll be back at it in another 10 minutes or so to give you the latest update, and stay tuned to the screen. As soon as we see a resumption of game time, we'll put that up there to let you know and inform you. From Fairless High School, you're tuned in to CVCA Football, courtesy and from the generosity of anonymous CVCA football parents.